Horseshoes are shining bright in Indy tonight, Colts Nation. The kind of buzz that's got every fan from Lucas Oil to the Heartland holding their breath. This team's been on fire, a 7-2 surprise that's got the AFC shaking. But after that tough loss to the Steelers, we all needed a spark. And boy, did the trade deadline deliver something massive that's about to change everything for this blue-blooded squad heading into their overseas showdown. If you're part of this crew, hit that subscribe button, drop a like, and join the conversation. This community runs on real fans like you. Now, the name that's got the league in a frenzy, Sauce Gardner. The two-time All-Pro cornerback, freshly traded from the Jets, has cleared concussion protocol and is set to make his Colts debut right there in Berlin against the Falcons. Imagine it, days after the deadline bombshell, this shutdown artist steps onto that international stage, ready to lock down receivers and flip the script on our secondary woes. Let's rewind just a bit. The Colts weren't messing around at the deadline. They pulled off a blockbuster, sending shockwaves from New York to Indianapolis, prying Gardner away from the Jets in a deal that's already being called one of the offseasons, no, the season's biggest heists. Why him? Because our defense, as solid as it's been under Shane Steichen's steady hand, needed that elite edge. Gardner's no ordinary addition. He's a game-changer, a guy who's made quarterbacks think twice since day one in the league. Picture the scene in the locker room when the trade hit. Players buzzing, coaches plotting, and fans erupting online. Gardner's been in protocol after a hit that had us all crossing our fingers, but Mike Chappell dropped the good word. He's cleared, expected to start Sunday. That's not just relief, that's rocket fuel for a team that's already molding into a Super Bowl machine. At 7-2, we've got the wins, the momentum, but slipping against Rodgers' crew stung. Now with Gardner suiting up overseas at Olympic Stadium, it's like injecting pure adrenaline into the veins of this franchise. His tape from the Jets this year, 6 passes defended, 20 tackles in 7 games, numbers that scream elite, even if the team's record didn't always match. But here in Indy, surrounded by this hungry crew, he's primed to elevate us. Think about the secondary transformation. No more vulnerabilities on the corners, just lockdown coverage that forces offenses to scheme around him. Steichen's got that visionary touch, turning surprises into contenders, and Gardner's arrival feels like the missing piece in a puzzle that's starting to look like a championship blueprint. As the plane touched down in Germany, you could almost hear the horseshoes clinking, Colts Nation extending across the Atlantic. This debut isn't just a game, it's a statement. Against the Falcons, a bounce-back win to 8-2 with Gardner patrolling the back end. That's the stuff dreams are made of. Fans back home, glued to screens at 6 a.m. ET, will be roaring from their couches, feeling that blue blood pump harder. The trade deadline's dust hasn't even settled, and already whispers of deep playoff runs are turning into chants. But let's not get ahead, though it's hard not to. Gardner's integration won't be seamless overnight, traveling internationally, shaking off protocol, meshing with new faces like Kenny Moore II and Julian Blackmon. Yet his football IQ, that shutdown mentality, it's plug-and-play for a defense that's already top-tier in points allowed. Steichen's molding this group with precision and adding a cornerstone like Sauce. It's like handing the architect the final blueprint. The emotion in Indy right now, pride swelling, hope reignited after that Pittsburgh punch. This is our time, Colts fans, to watch history unfold on a global stage. Diving deeper into what this means for the long haul, the Colts' rise this season has been nothing short of electric. From the ashes of past frustrations, Shane Steichen has forged a squad that's not just winning games but dominating them. At 7-2, we're leading the AFC South charge, with eyes locked on that high seed come playoff time. Daniel Jones, reinvigorated under center, slinging it with poise, and Jonathan Taylor pounding the rock like the beast he is. These are the stars pulling us forward. But defense wins championships, and that's where Gardner slots in perfectly, turning good into great. Before the trade, we were already a force offensively, averaging yards and points that have analysts scratching their heads. Remember the early doubters, the ones who figured we'd fade like so many Indy teams post-luck? Wrong. 7 wins in 9, a division title in sight, and now this infusion of defensive talent. Gardner's arrival isn't a band-aid, it's a fortress wall. His ability to shadow top receivers, disrupt timing, force turnovers, it's the X-factor that pairs seamlessly with our aggressive front 7. Imagine pass rushes from DeForest Buckner and Kwity Paye flushing QBs right into Gardner's web. The secondary, once a question mark, now looks impenetrable. And the timing? Immaculate. Heading into Week 10 abroad, this debut against Atlanta could set the tone for the stretch run. Falcons are scrappy, but with our revamped backfield, we're built to exploit their air attack. A win in Berlin doesn't just heal the Steelers' wound. It catapults us toward that 10-win plateau, solidifying contender status. Fans feel that blue blood surging. It's the same fire that fueled Super Bowl runs of old, now rekindled with fresh horseshoes. Beyond the field, Gardner's story resonates. Traded from a Jets team that couldn't capitalize on his prime, he's landing in a spot ripe for glory. In Indy, we build legacies. Peyton Reggie, now this new era under Steichen. His stats this year might not dazzle on paper, but watch the film, coverage so tight it's suffocating. 6 passes defended, that's conservative brilliance, not flash. Teamed with our scheme, expect those numbers to skyrocket, turning close games into blowouts. As the season unfolds, the ripple effects will be felt everywhere. Rivals in the AFC, Chiefs, Bills, Ravens, now have to game plan around him. Our path to the Super Bowl just got wider, brighter. Colts Nation, from the heartland to Berlin's lights, this is your team rising. That trade deadline masterstroke. It's not just acquiring a player, it's igniting a movement. Pride in the pewter, hope in every snap, and now with sauce on the sideline, the AFC better watch out. Wrapping this up, if there's one thing clear, it's that the Colts are no longer flying under the radar. We're contenders, plain and simple, with Gardner as the spark that could light the playoff fuse. Hit the road win, build that momentum, and let's ride this wave all the way. Horseshoes up, Indy, the kingdom's calling, and we're answering with fire. Drop your thoughts below. How big is Gardner's impact? This community's alive with that Colts spirit, and together we're unbreakable.